Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd, and this is our creative week with your host. That's me, Jennifer Vanderbeek of scrapsoflife.com. Oh, how have you been? I know, another Tuesday update. Hey, these things happen. Been a little busy, a little chaotic. It is the way it is. So, what has been going on? Well, I have spent a lot of time staring at my computer screen, so that if you were to say go over to scrapsoflife.com, you would notice that it looks a little different for the first time since 2009. And that feels like, you know what? Let's just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that 2019 feels like it's only like a year or so ago, but in reality, we're two-thirds of the way through 2023, so 2000 was 4 years ago. Mm. How? How? I mean, I know how, but how? Anyway, there's a new homepage up. And the important thing with all that is that there's a new shop on the scrapsoflife.com/shop. And that is where all of the different prints and sticker sheets and decals and um, wearables that have my art on them will now be found. I'm kind of phasing out the one that was over on the craftybranch.com just because you know what, it's a lot to keep up with a lot of sites, and I want to use that site differently. And my portfolio site, I'm working on that as well. But yeah, basically we just had to get it done so that the prints of the little ghosties, which I'm pretty sure I showed those last time, so I'm not going to show them again. Well, I'll show a couple. But yeah, so these little ghosties in these photographs from Birmingham that I took in 2000, talk about vintage. Um, they're now available as prints, and you can order them there if you want them and want to support me, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, so there's that. That's a big thing that I did. And while it was very nuts and bolts intense, um it was also creative as well. There was creativity involved. um I'll get to the painting behind me in just a moment, but I am going to give you an update on this mammoth sweater shawl. I suppose I could have knit a sweater in the time that it has taken to knit this lengthy sampler shawl. I have now finished the last section. This is section 9 right here. And so now what I'm on to is applying the borders. And these are knit perpendicular to, so this is the last row of like the divider border after section 9. Now I have to go in and I have to put in little triangular sections that are studded with beads. Yes, that is the correct side to see. And yeah, there's like 16 of them on each end. I have one done. So yeah, we're in the home stretch, but it's gonna be a little while. And it's kind of funny because I started this project um just before I went out to Arizona last time. So in May, when I went to Arizona, this was my travel project. I am going back to Arizona next month. In fact, this time next month, I'll already be there. And in September. And even if I do not have this project finished, it's not the project that I'm going to bring with me. I'm going to determine a new travel project. I think I know what I want to do, but I need to look into it and go from there. But I think I know. I think it's going to be a crochet project. More on that another time. Other thing that occupied my time quite a bit was Dewey here. So I believe I introduced you Dewey in a previous video. He is our Kemp's Ridley sea turtle. And if I did, the last time I showed him, it probably was with just this little bottom portion of embroidery complete. Let's kind of do a manual zoom, and you can see all the little netting stitches that I have applied over his whole body or his whole shell. And yes, so that part took a while. And it may or may not have something to do with me spraining my wrist Friday night. It wasn't while I was working on this, it was after that, but it was after doing the other like 6-7 hours over 2 days, but still, of the netting stitch on the rest of his shell. So yeah, there's that. And then now he has now been stitched down. Ooh, okay, don't do it that way. He has now been along the top of the shell. He has been stitched to the canvas. He's kind of blending in a little bit. The the camera, interestingly enough, is like creating, it's like making the background look a lot greener, which is not bad looking, but it is very blue in person. um and more matching, the shell here is also kind of giving it a blue tinge, so that's interesting. Something just fell. I don't know what fell, but anyway, something. Anyway, so this was my other big accomplishment, for the past week and a bit, is just getting him to this point. So now I can actually go in and paint the head and this part, his shell, and these forward, or closer to us, foreground flippers will be lightly padded and quilted, and then I'm probably going to do some fabric seagrass as well to kind of integrate a little bit more, maybe even a little creature down in the corner. I don't know. But yeah, that is what's going on there. And aside from that, those have been like the big things. I also spent a bit of time the last few nights assembling and cutting out some of these patterns that I've had for years. From one of my favorite online pattern companies. In this case, it is Made for Mermaids. They also have a sister. I call it a sister shop. I think it's either a sister or cousin that runs it. It's like they're related in some way, called Patterns for Pirates. Anyway, they make great patterns, mostly for knitwear, but not all. And yeah, I want to use some of them, for this fall and well, the rest of the summer and so forth, but going on the cruise that Todd and I are going to take in November for our anniversary. So I've also been pre-washing a bunch of fabric that I've already had in my stash, so that I can start making things with those supplies. I know, novel concept, right? um but yeah, so I've been doing bit of this, a bit of that. A lot of it has been online work, and so I don't have anything to hold in my hand for it, but I do have something to show for it. Again, if you were to go to scrapsoflife.com, it looks a little different now. I've got an illustration that I put up, or that I did ages ago. It feels like ages ago, probably just earlier this year, up as the homepage image, and a little bit about me, and then links to all the other places, all the socials, and the other places you can find me online. And so I'm really proud of that. I'm pretty proud of that. Go check that out. In the meantime, I will continue working on Dewey over here. In fact, if you want to see me working on him, chances are I'll be working on this during this week's Twitch streams. So remember, if you haven't checked those out before, they're Wednesdays and Fridays from 3 to 5 Eastern generally. And then on Saturday nights or sometimes Sunday afternoons, I switch as the schedule dictates. I'll do a 2 to 3 hours stream of Stardew Valley, just as something fun on the weekend. But yeah, check out my Twitch channel over there. You can find us on Discord. If you check the description box below, you can find the Discord link. And that's another way that you can keep in touch and we can kind of, chat about what you've been working on, or I can cheerlead you on as you work on your own projects. I'd love to have you over there. Sorry. um, yeah, that's what's going on with me. I just got home from therapy actually, and then getting the oil changed in my car. So I'm going to spend some time journaling about my therapy appointment, and then decide what else I'm going to do the rest of the evening. But thank you so much for checking in with me, for coming back week after week. If this is your first week here, then welcome. Um, Hang out, pull up a chair, click the subscribe and the notification button so that you always know when I post a new video. Normally these go up on Sundays, but some weekends things happen and we get a Tuesday update instead. At any rate, I'll be back in another week to share what I've been up to creatively and to encourage you to find the creativity in your own life and, you know, do something that fills your creative well, whatever that is. Um, and until then, take care. I'll see you next time.